Hey guys, Tightrope here, bringing you a 2v2 today. We are on fields of Winnekendonk. Today spawning in the north, we have itsjomal playing as the British forces, going for Lend-Lease Assault. Royal Engineers and Vanguard teaming up with him is biggest annoyance on Earth. Soviets, who has guard rifle, combined arms, mechanized support, and shock rifle frontline. From the south, we have Kpen97 with Ostheer, who has fortified armor, strategic reserves, and lightning more. And finally, we have d0ggY as d0ggY with breakthrough. Excuse me, in terms of rankings, quite a few. This is a little bit of an older replay at the moment. Quite a few unranked ranks hidden now. But that's not a month old yet, so I'm not sure why. But
universal carrier ready for
Jamal as a random team 2s, he's ranked 69, nice, as Brits. Kpen as 1v1 Ostheer is 175. d0ggY's in a couple top 200 teams, so see what happens. Jamal and Kpen, both occasional streamers as well.
Enemy infantry having a pop.
Stimpo's hiding in the building here.
Attack by enemy.
High sandbags interrupted. Machine gun quite far away. It's covering the cutoff. Now coming back to assist the Pios, who jumped into the building to stall. d42 setting up. Suppresses 1. And now 2, but nothing really to jump on this and follow up. Good soft retreat there from biggest annoyance. 2-on-1 here for the conscripts. Quick to pull back though, looking for some better cover.
Fresh conscripts have arrived.
Slow-paced engagement up here. A lot of heavy cover action. Gotta be careful with that UC, you know, this Fusileer's got those snares. It's full Fusileers at this stage for d0ggY. Only going for 3 of them though into the tech. Maybe he wants to go for an officer later on. Stimpo's tried to close in there, but they did not have a good time of it. Oh boy, this looks like it could be a squad wipe. Oh, the UC's not firing, and the flamethrower wasn't firing either. Okay, that was a bit of a lucky break for d0ggY. G42 for Kpen here, getting some big suppression going.
Our headquarters has been improved. We can now build
It's round behind the corner. It's a 4 conscript start for biggest annoyance. Predictive rifle grenade there, I think, from Kpen. Doesn't end up hitting too much though. Now getting suppressed as he tried to flank the machine gun, unsuccessful. And it's a full retreat. Looks like Kpen having a pretty good time on his side so far. But the universal carrier is coming across. Does not have the Vickers upgraded yet. Also, you know, it's kind of at that health threshold that if it takes some small arms damage, it will die to a Faust pretty quickly.
Combat engineers are standing by.
Went for a second combat engineer. Interesting. Maybe suggesting that we're not going to see any elite infantry, maybe no shock troops or guards. Typically you don't have enough manpower if you're doing that kind of build. To squeeze in 4 conscripts, 2 combat engineers. It's seen it from, I think Happy Cat used to do it sometimes, but can cause issues. Well, most often it does cause issues. Conscripts back here, but they don't actually have heavy cover. You might expect them to. Half grenade out. Good dodge though, actually. Only 1 model down to that. And it does seem to have cleaned off the light cover that was kind of jamming the heavy cover position. So the squad stalling out very nicely. Here comes another rifle nade. This one not dodged. Sits in the heavy cover to soak it though. So there's a lot of munitions there spent by Kpen. Covering all the angles here. Looks like Jamal's doing pretty well on his side though against d0ggY. Another very close call on the Fusiliers. d0ggY going into a machine gun now. So maybe he's not going for the officer. Does have the command points for it. Here comes the 222 looking for the universal carrier. AEC popping out but not on the field yet. Ooh. It's a bit ugly. Maybe trying to bait. There's a mine here. Maybe trying to bait the 222 across. I think he is. It looks like Kpen's not taking it. He's still making its way to the front line. Fusiliers from the side here. Standby is closing in. Ooh, don't quite trigger the mine. What was that? Well, it was AEC firing. I thought I heard a pack owie shooting. I was like, how is that possible? No use players in this game.
We're losing a capture point.
Okay, branching out to the far VPs. Still early days. They're requesting for d0ggY, so it looks like he's going for a no light vehicle strategy. Just pressing fire in there from the universal carrier.
Enemy threatening a capture point.
Very cautious stuff though so far with the AEC. Kpen does have the pack rolling up now, but up until now hasn't been on the field. The shot misses on the pack. By the pack.
We are losing a sector.
Gotta be very careful with the universal carrier. That's just about at a one shot from the pack kind of health region. I wouldn't be pushing my luck in this case. Oh, and here we go. Something, you know, if you're going to be a universal carrier player, you need to be very familiar with its health total. That was not a good time to be shooting. Half an ace. Onto the corner. Gets a big damage. Looks like biggest annoyance. Not the... It's dodged one, but that's it so far. Kpen though, spending a lot of munis, doesn't have weapon upgrades on most of his grenadiers though because of that rifle nade spam. It does come at a cost. MG lining up here, but no squads coming around the corner. Bit of capping now for Jamal on the far side. Heavy cover here working now nicely, allowing that flamer to get some damage done. Conscripts do have anti-tank grenades, quite a lot of manpower floating for biggest annoyance. He's building a machine gun now. Still hasn't locked into a commander. And has gone for like a, you know, relatively early tier 3. He's not planning to go for a light vehicle at all from it, which it doesn't look like he is because he's had resources for well over a minute now for the T70, if that's what he's going for. It's like Jamal got the bolster, got some brains coming through now. It's going to help out a lot against these Fusiliers. Not if the section runs forwards like that though, into closer range. Dodge on the nade though. Usually you should just charge in right to point blank. Maybe worried about the machine gun. It's just out of range though. I expect them to stop around there.
Infantry firing at us. Cheeky buggers.
Harass on the fuel point from Jamal.
A capture point is being overrun.
Smokes out with the AEC there. Maybe not 100% necessary. But there we go. The Winnekendonk getting baited in. Gets forced away, and that does allow the AEC to continue. d0ggY actually popping the breakthrough, which I think is pretty good. He's getting, decapping a lot of territory very quickly with that. Underrated ability, only 35 munitions. If you're going to be capping 2 or 3 points, can lead to a very rapid change in territory. Just for the decapture time, though. It doesn't change capture time. Get decaps points maybe 4 times faster. Might even be more than that. It's a little bit dangerous. Conscripts over here. There's a bunch of S-mines. Could be worried about your retreat paths. And there we go. Runs forwards. Trying to avoid them on retreat. Still end up clipping, but the conscript squad survived, so I'll chalk that up as a win. Very surprised Big Annoyance has not got an anti-tank gun though. That's a big mistake up against this 222. Just getting bullied around. And it's going for that now, but well overdue. Had this probably a good 4 minutes ago. Thinking about building a mine, but cancels it. Mortar now from Kpen doing a bit of work. But you're definitely feeling the impact of not having LMGs on these grenadiers from that rifle nade spam now. It's actually meaning these conscripts are holding up much better. Usually at this stage, these greens would be Vec 2, starting to laser beam down the conscripts. But Kpen kind of missing that window, and is going to continue missing it with the conscripts now available to upgrade with this fast tier 4 strategy. So Kpen's kind of missed that power spike window through the rifle nade spam style. Kpen also with a lot of manpower floating at this stage. Does have tier 3 up, close to a tank. Could squeeze in one more unit though. Beside that.
Interrogation training and detection avoidance.
Okay, locks into lightning war.
We have additional Ostheer available.
You know what I would like to see? Some G43 Panzer Grenadiers. Those will go down a treat. Kpen though is struggling for munitions, so might not be on the agenda, but big fan of those. It might be quite handy, with the enhanced vision on the G43 Panzer Grenadiers can help you avoid running into machine guns. Kpen using a bit of detection here, the infantry awareness. Smokes out the machine gun, and that's a full retreat from Biggest Annoyance. That's maybe unnecessary, just need to reposition. And that means that now the LMG Grenadiers coming in from the side. About to clean up. Shot from the Zist though. Big team weapons from Biggest Annoyance. Guys coming around the corner with a concussive grenade. Forces the retreat. Double AT guns for Jamal. A bit of danger here.
Damned enemies trying to take a point from us.
AC come through to assist.
Go on, Alex, to strike.
Good idea there. Go for a push. Force back the Skirmishes. Clumps them up. Makes them perhaps more likely to get actually hit by the AC's main gun. And there we go. Laser beam action
Our capture
on the
point. They're
greens.
trying to take it.
Doggy does end up going for the officer very, very late for this though. I'm more of a fan of going for that, like maybe instead of the machine gun, in that kind of slot, the way you can start vetting it up early. Because, you know, what's more valuable, vet on the officer or vet on the machine gun? I would say on the officer. Attack groundwork there, I think, from Kpen. Double Panzer IVs now for the Axis. Do have a lot of support weapons, though, that these medium tanks have to contend with. So the Axis are going to need some indirect fire very soon, because Jamal's got 3 support weapons, biggest annoyance has got 3. They're probably going to get another one at some stage. This is going to be tough to crack otherwise. Looks like Kpen's gone for a second mortar, which is, you know, also a decent option, but do have to contend with maybe allies rocket artillery in the not too distant future now. Annoyance has a good amount of resources at this stage. Could build a T-34. Could build a Katyusha. Could build basically anything except for a heavy tank. Typically, I think a straight heavy tank stall is not a very good idea. Sometimes you can squeeze like a light vehicle into heavy tank stall.
Infantry squads can now be called to fight for the motherland.
But never just straight heavy tank. Just... okay. Oh. It's just, you know, not a super heavy, but it's a heavy. On the cheaper side, no. KV-1, looks like it's gonna be. We have a mortar pit up now for Jamal, who has set himself up for a heavy tank stall. He's gone for the AEC, AAT guns. I think trying to go straight for the AVRE. Good combo on the Panzer IV, and the Panzer IVs have been having a very difficult time contending with these anti-tank guns through the centre.
Crew ready for orders.
Fast retreats there for Doggy. Maybe needs to start popping up a few flares. He seems to be running into the centre, running into the machine guns, which shouldn't be a repeat action given what's available to him. Nice forced retreat activation there to allow the capture unharassed. Squads hitting Vet 3 at basically the exact same time there.
Enemy forces are neutralizing a sector.
A fuel cache down from Kpen as well. I didn't notice that, but not a bad idea. It was flowing quite a lot of manpower. Looks like he has gone for tier 4. Is it going to be the Werfer now, or is it going to be straight into the Tiger? Try to dodge away from the British mortar pit here. Activating tactical movement. Very tactical. Just sprint forwards across the map everywhere.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
Okay, now I think we just saw a flare go up from Doggy. So it's a good idea. Greedy is coming in from the side, actually doing some nice work, and at the moment the Axis with superior resource control. Decent VP lead at the stage as well. Officer could force retreat again here. Engineers with the Flamer and Vet as well. That Vet 1 stationary bonus very strong on the Royal Engineers. Okay, got some tripwires coming up. Here we go, KV1 rolling up for biggest annoyance. The allies do kind of need that. You know, they're fighting well through the center, but they're not doing too well on the edges at this stage. So the KV1's really going to help. It's mainly Kpen's Panzer IV. Attack groundwork there from Kpen. Second AT gun picked up by biggest annoyance as well, so the rifle was a good choice from Kpen. It's up here, ready to fire. Just need some vision. There's a little bit under strength in terms of anti-tank now though. And here's the 1 AT gun. Good starting barrage there. Doesn't have enough infantry support. Now under a lot of pressure. Big annoyance calling down the plane. Oh boy. Conscript dies though. Was that to a close range mortar shell, I think? Ouch. And the AT gun somehow hasn't been decrewed yet. This destroys. d0ggY does lose a Fusilier up here. KV continuing on the attack. Gets the decrew on the AT gun. The Raketten's there from d0ggY though, and there we go, some Faust connecting. Raketten has to retreat though under fire, but the main gun crit. Oh, that's a heartbreaker. He's trying to get away with that KV now, but it's so slow. Faust, but the Faust bounces. Throws out some base howitzer fire. Oh. No, the pack can't fire and now could even get decrewed. ISG also gets decrewed, looks like to the mortar pit. And there we go, Kpen loses the AT gun. And the KV1 survives. High action there. Good turnaround from the allies. While that's going on, they managed to cap up the sides as well. So, pretty big turnaround there. Kpen may be paying the price, trying to go for a Werfer without the second AT gun to assist. The second AT gun would just shut that KV down immediately. Or, you know, even just having a Fausting squad up here could stop the KV1 and maybe force away those conscripts so they don't have to concede so much territory. Stuka now for d0ggY. I think that's a good choice. There's just so many team weapons for the allies through the center. I don't think one Werfer is going to get the job done alone. Speaking of, the Werfer is ready to fire. I think Kpen may be waiting for infantry awareness to target for that. It's on cooldown currently. There we go, activating. Kind of similar to how you do it with spy network. Kind of see where the AT gun is. Slightly overshooting it. But yeah, that's how I do it. I open the tactical map and then I'll put down a ping. I'll go Control A and then I'll target it from the barrage where the ping is. Just a little tip on how to make use of spy network. We call it those similar detection type abilities. It's actually like very, very sneaky doing it that way as well. It's very hard for your opponent to guess where you're barraging. Unlike flares, which are a bit more obvious. Recon planes, even more obvious again. Exchanging grenades here. Oh, that's a gammon bomb. That's a big boy. Actually, you should still win this though at that range. Good tripwire action there for biggest annoyance. Sweeping up these S-mines on the fuel point now as well. I think Kpen is stalling for that Tiger. Pretty close. Doesn't quite have the pop cap room for it though. The second mortar is actually what's binding him up here. Big damage from mortars flying both directions. KV1 hasn't done a huge amount after that initial burst. Still only 2 kills. Heavy mortar strike out the back. Oh, the section does go down. Nice chase down by d0ggY. Panzer Shrek from the stern post. They are getting away around the corner here. Flares up as well. Here comes the walking Stuka. Really good connection. Got the Werfer coming down now as well. It's the same region, unfortunately. If it was over here, whew, it'd be lights out. These units already on the move. So doesn't hit too much from Kpen. Good start for d0ggY though. Oof. Remember, after you use that forced retreat ability, your officer does have a received accuracy penalty. So quite squishy. Trading shots over the centre. Allies are down by about 100 VPs. Out of there. Oh no, it's a comet from Jamal. Okay, I wasn't expecting a comet first. Will allow a bit more control on the edges for sure. But it seems like these two teams are kind of gearing up for an all-out war through the centre of the map. Sides be damned. And the AVRE just busts through the middle of the map. Very hard to avoid, especially that war speed AVRE. Some team weapons stand almost no chance of dodging away from that. Okay, engine crit on the Comet. Flame mortar out the back. Spotted for by the flares. Knocks out Kpen's AT gun. But it does free up enough popcap room for the Tiger. Second KV1 for biggest annoyance now. Walking Stuka try and do some damage to the mortar pit, I think. Best to just forget about that until you have the napalm incendiary rockets. Then maybe you can worry about starting to barrage the mortar pit with that. Just try to target the team weapons, try to apply some bleed. Hasn't been recrewed yet. Gotta be careful with the Tiger. There were a few mines down. Don't want to lose it immediately, so might want to wait for the sweepers. Looks like Kpen not going for any machine gun upgrades on his tanks either. Maybe trying to save munitions for the planes. And at this stage, the Allies don't have any anti-air, so those planes will be extremely effective. Oh boy, that was a big hit from the base howitzer. Kpen's mortars in some trouble.
Causing trouble, trying to take one of our points.
Second one's gonna skate out of there. It's a close call though. Jamal with a forward assembly. A little bit further back though than I was expecting at least. Maybe it's a good spot if you're trying to go for the forward retreat point upgrade on that as well. Nice rocket angle. For now for Kpen. Grazing one of the anti-tank guns. Jamal quick to dodge it. Big hit from the Comet. T-gun decrewed over here. And now about to get snared perhaps by the Fusiliers. KV-1. No. Tiger comes through for the kill on the Zis. Here comes the walking Stuka now. Clicks on the Soviet mortar. Catches the engineers there as well. Big damage. Another great hit from d0ggY. Already way more kills than Kpen's worth it. Okay, Kpen calling down the planes. Oh, loses a grenadier though. Katyusha returning fire now. Good damage on the KV. But there's not really much like pushing going on behind this. In either direction. It's not like the allies were pushing in and you need to defend, or it's not like the Axis are pushing in under the cover of these planes. I think this was a reckless use of the planes. No real promise of follow-up. Not a big fan of that from Kpen. You know, if you're not going to upgrade your tanks with machine guns, you better make sure your commander ability activations are on point. I'm a big fan of the Pintle machine gun upgrades myself. d0ggY meanwhile has managed to save for the Yag Tiger, and here it comes. This could be a bit of a turning point for the Axis. A lot of very slow lumbering KV-1s around. Easy prey for the Yag Tiger. Oh boy. Comet baiting that Panzer IV around the corner. Pops the Blitz trying to get away. AT gun misses. So does the Comet. That was a close call. T-gun's just out of range here. Base howitzer fire as well as the heavy mortar strike coming down. Conscript's dead, so is the AT gun though for Kpen. And now the mortar getting decrewed as well. Big artillery. Katyusha as well. There's a 4 coming in from the side though, shutting down the conscripts. Not a very good Katyusha barrage this one. Here we go. Making a move through the centre. Yag Tiger. Big hit, long range. Drops down the napalm as well. I'm not targeting the mortar pit with the napalm. KV backing off. How does he have vision? I didn't see any flares up in the air, but must have been one. Okay, it's actually a decent idea popping some smoke through the centre with that mortar pit. Good thinking by itsjomal. Still the battle rages for the central VP. Here comes the AVRE now. But again, this is another thing that doesn't do too well against the Yag Tiger. Good attack round there, working for itsjomal. And there we go. Great start for the AVRE. That was, what, Vet 3 Raketen? Be happy with that kill. d0ggY coming in from the side here, getting a decrew on one of the AT guns. That frees up the Yag Tiger to push forwards. Looking for some further damage. Be careful about coming through that smoke, and itsjomal making great use of the smoke so far. As soon as the yak tiger arrived. This annoyance could probably do with the SU-85, but just doesn't have the room in his army for it at this stage. Jamal again making use of smoke, this time to regather his AT gun. Don't need to try and finish it off. Okay, here comes the walking Stuka now. Ooh! Another good hit there for d0ggY. Just coming back the other way, nearly decrewing the pack. Still get it. Oh. Nice call for Kpen. Could almost be worth Kpen putting down a bunker back here, like a command bunker, for some forward reinforcement. Pretty handy. Well, Allies have got a lot of rebuilding to do. Axis indirect fire starting to stack up. Kpen's gone for a second Werfer. Might free up some PopCap though for biggest annoyance. Might be able to squeeze in that SU-85 finally. Help fight back against this Tiger more effectively. Oh, it's risky stuff. Capping on that. Oh man, a health. Good attack round there from Kpen. Because inside the building though, shutting down that flank completely. Dropped both Brens by the way. Jamal quite low in infantry now. Just for a rebuild on that squad. Looks like Kpen's going to come through and claim an LMG.
Opponents are seizing a sector.
Okay, here comes the walking Stuka. Napalm again, this one targeting the mortar pit, and does some great damage. Jamal very slow to brace. It's a great AVR reshot in though. Tiger missing. Mortar pit. Oh, could die. Oh, it looks like it's going to. No. Flames wearing off there. That was so close. Rockets coming both directions. I'm not hitting too much. Before blitzing out to safety. Got the Yag Tiger there as well. Tiger coming across. Okay, SU-76 for biggest annoyance. It's everything's reinforced, so you just can't squeeze in that SU-85. It's something, I guess. Okay, I can appreciate the idea. Oof. Nice call. Black Tiger is getting a decent amount of vet now. So there's something going with it. Oh, not when he's sitting that far forwards though. Oh no, baiting! Baiting for the Werfers. Didn't really get rewarded, but it was a good idea. Scatter just didn't quite line up there for Kpen. Stuka again with the napalm strike again, this time targeting the forward assembly. That thing does not have a brace key ability, so it dies real fast.
Our forward position has been destroyed.
That does actually hurt Jamal. Can't now reinforce the squad of engineers. Oh wow, went for AVRE command vehicle. This is not recommended.
What's the mission?
I believe it does impact the reload time on the mortar.
Where do you want us?
I believe the command vehicle moves slower as well, right? If you're going to put this on something, it should be on the AEC. Upgrade to a command vehicle. So, tread shot is still reasonably effective, even with AC as a command vehicle, and it's like reasonably fast in the first place, so it's still nimble enough to stay out of harm's way and be productive. Not a good AVRE shot there. What's the cooldown on it now? Minute 10 or something like that. Oof, Jamal just getting blasted here frontally. The artillery really stacking up now against the allies. Having trouble keeping up. Going for a 17 pounder, but I think it's a decent idea. Just can't accomplish it at this moment while they're under so much pressure. KV-1's coming in from the side. Getting a bit of work done. Supported by the Su-76. Su-85 would just make this so much better. Providing vision. Not gonna sweep that. Alright. And Jamal struggling through the centre now.
Supplies looking a bit squiffy. Line's been cut.
Use the mortar pit as well.
An emplacement has been destroyed.
Oh, did get the command bunker. Good stuff there for Kpen. Certainly helps with that central control. Only 4 kills so far on the Katyusha. That thing has not been working very well at all. Definitely part of the reason why the Axis have started to turn the corner now. I'm playing shot down quickly again by that 222. Looks like Kpen has gone for the pintle on the Tiger now as well. Great work for barrage. Sure, but the machine gun survives. KB's making a bit of a move here. And the Tiger's also in the area. A couple of bounces there. One in the planes, targeting the AT gun. That does get decrewed. Here comes another Werfer strike. If you can kill off that pack, kill the command bunker, that would be nice. Oh, pushing in here with no vision. The SU, what's he doing? Oh, that's going to die for sure. Well, I suppose... Nice shot, Tiger. I suppose the Panzer IV could have missed that final shot, but... if it didn't, that was a guaranteed dead tank. Officer, by the way, hitting Vet 4, even with d0ggY, bringing in super late. That's a very nice vision tool. Oh, there we go. The 222 finally dies. It's actually pretty big. No more infantry awareness into barrages. Lower chance of shooting down those recon planes now as well. Come on over here, try and do its best. I think there's some smoke down that we can't see. Planting a mine. Still pretty close on the victory points. Army sizes as well, still close, but the Axis do have the lead. Kpen calling in the planes again, but... what? They're not going to do any damage to anything. Okay, well, it's 2 times that ability's been wasted. Cheeky attack rounds there. careful. You're not too cheeky. You got the 17 pounder on the field for itsjomal, who does have enough to rebuild. He's got a lot of resources in the bank. So does biggest annoyance, actually. All players with a reasonable reserve. Races through that. Dodges the AVRE.
They're trying to take it. Emplacement under attack.
17 pounder versus d0ggY. Oh, here we go. Comet coming in, threatening to flank. Oh, if it actually did flank. What? Oh my god, itsjomal, what are you doing, man? Why are you shooting at the cache? Oh no. No way. Oh, he bounced. So the tiger, though. Oh, he does kill it. That d0ggY did not die there.
Lost its swines, just knocked out a vehicle.
That would have been the saddest thing I've seen all week. Gets it done. Alright. I was actually just thinking about back in the day, the d0ggY used to outrange this 17 pounder. And how absurd that was. Oh, there goes the AEC as well.
Armored car has been destroyed.
As I said though, itsjomal did have quite a lot of resources to rebuild with. Can pretty much start up a Comet again immediately. That's what he wants to go for. And now is in control of 2 of the VPs at this stage, so tight on the victory points at this stage.
Give us the big fat tank to kill.
Trying to get some sandbags up, but interrupted. 17 pounder, big damage. Tiger blitzing out. It does get out of there. AVRE though. Oh, missed. Was that a collision with the road? It seemed like there was an issue there with the targeting. Well, not with the targeting, with the projectile. Just over here destroyed though by Kpen. I guess that was a Werfer strike. Let's check in on those. 13, 17. Back the other way, the Katyusha up to 9 now. Still not very good for biggest annoyance. Has freed up enough room in his army though to go for an SU-85 finally. These double KVs are really clogging up his army. They've been going okay, but they're just, you know, it's a lot of popcap. Oh! Oh boy. Okay, that was a pretty good one. And they're knocking out a bunch of repairing squads. Double KVs on the move here. They're pretty highly vetted, so they do have a decent rate of fire now. Rolling in the plains. They've been trying to rebuild that bunker. Dodges forwards of the strike, but that just baits him into the clutches of the Soviet army. So pack destroyed, bunker destroyed, machine gun decrewed. They'll be calling down the artillery himself now. Just knock out the both and the section. Really good scatter on that assault artillery. Wow.
Enemy causing trouble, trying to take one of our points.
What a grind. What a grind this match has been. Just so much action for the center. What's going on down here? I feel like this hasn't been kept by the Allies for like a quarter of an hour.
You're attacking an emplacement.
I have seen d0ggY make a few excursions for that point, but it hasn't been successful. Yeah, MG in that building's really shutting things down up there. Needs to send the tank over, but it can be tough. Panzer IV loses so badly to the Comet. Try sending the Panzer IV up here to clean things up. It's could lead to the loss of your tank. To the comet. Well, that was a
An emplacement is being attacked.
dose of damage. Engineer's trying to repair through here. Comet coming in as well. Oh, d0ggY, is he going to lose this again? Comet's trying to flank around. He's got the war speed active. Decides, oh, I'll settle for the walking Stuka. But now rear arm exposed. The Panzer IV is highly vetted. Both of them are, in fact. d0ggY stopping. And it gets abandoned too. Engineers go down over here while repairing, by the way. And here we go. This is the green light for biggest annoyance to get moving. A lot of damaged Axis vehicles now. Feels like it's time to make something happen. The Tiger's still out the back there, still slamming home the damage. Oh, the double KVs are in some big trouble now. AVRE coming forwards. Gotta settle for a Grenadier wipe. 1 KV goes down. Doesn't work for now. Just the combat engineers. Still alive though. Now a bunch of repairs. d0ggY coming forwards with the infantry again.
A capture point is being overrun.
We're not ready to fire again quite yet.
A Firefly is emplacement under attack. Infantry squad getting keen over here.
Posturing like he's got it, but not quite there yet. Otherwise, probably could have got the wipe there. Jamal really needs some assistance repairing up this 17-pounder. It's done so much good work. But he's so low on manpower now. Second Katyusha attempted by biggest annoyance. Doesn't have the room in his army for that though. Having rebuilt that KV-1. Going for the barrage. The barrage has a longer range. So that does land. A huge amount of damage, but maybe the Werfer can finish it. Not quite. One more rocket would have done the trick, but they didn't land very well. To the north of it. Comes through for one shot. And misses. Comes the Werfer. Brace, but it's just too low in health. Jamal couldn't get the repairs done in time. Losing that Comet. The win in for the dive on the Tiger set Jamal back a lot. Otherwise, he probably would have had manpower to go for a second engineer earlier, get those repairs going. But hey, did knock out that walking Stuka, which was a bit too, I believe, so that was completely horrible. Okay, now this could be a moment where the planes actually do something for Kpen. He's dropped them down, he's getting something going now. Very slow reactions, but it looks like they're targeting the British tanks actually to start out. Probably not what Kpen was hoping for. Oh boy, what happened to the Panther over here? Blinking, you'll miss it. It's dead. Didn't even realize d0ggY had a Panther. Trying to hide behind that fence. Blitzes away though. The Panzer IV still alive. Only 23 kills though. It's had that for a long time. Instant rebuild on the Panther for d0ggY. Planes timed out. They did something though this time. Might have helped d0ggY maybe could have had a better chance of escaping. I think he was hoping that they'd target the Su-85 and then Kpen would be able to just steamroll through the biggest annoyance's army after that. Shot there from the d0ggY. Recon plane up now for Jamal. And by making a move, he's not having munitions to utilise those tulip rockets though. So there's not much he can do against the d0ggY otherwise. Axis did get quite low on the victory points, but they're in control at the moment.
This upgrade's very nice.
Decent. Oh boy, what's happening here again? Stuns him in place. Didn't do full damage, but the stun was enough for the Fireflies to finish the job. Now the Pants dead by d0ggY. Nice work. Good stun though from the AVRE by Jamal.
We've 200 points remaining.
I'm sure Kpen's pulling out his hair after that second Panther loss. Interrupts the repairs. The d0ggY getting quite aggressive. Gets a good shot in. Jamal doesn't have any anti-tank guns to force back the d0ggY, so makes it difficult to deal with.
There's a shiny new officer and gentleman ready to go.
Great hit from the Werf for that time.
Rocket's ready. Give us a target.
KV pushed up here. Expect to get a repair time required. Wow, just goes for the steal on the machine gun right under the nose of biggest annoyance. Misses there from the d0ggY. Does finally clear that MG out of the building. d0ggY wants to go for the cap up there. Might have the opportunity soon. Decent connection from the grenade. Has the access to hold on to the centre for a little longer. Jamal meanwhile has gone for the assault officer. War speeding forwards. Look how slow it is with the war speed. Trying to get in range of the d0ggY here. I think he's going to be able to stun it. Here come the double Fireflies. They're missing all their shots, but look at that damage from the AVRE. Oh, but the mine. The mine and the Panzer IV's coming in now as well. Jamal committing hard, but he's bounced every single shot. There we go, gets one shot through. He's got enough munitions for some tulip rockets. Oh no, they're 80, they're not 70. Oh, but he kills it with the last shot. The penetrations were horrible to start off there for Jamal, but they came good in the end. Evened out in the end, but I don't know if there's that good of a trade. 2 Fireflies for 1 d0ggY. It's alright, but it's not something to be proud of, you know? Some tulip rockets would have made that a lot easier, but didn't have the munitions, so what can you do? Plane struck down for Kpen as well. Chasing the allies off the centre. Triple cap now against the allies. They're draining out very fast. The AVRE doing something very risky here. He takes a Faust Could go down now. Shot the planes targeting the East-ready 5. Did I miss something? Actually down for Kpen. Shot there from the East-ready 5. Mixing out to safety. Allies are draining fast now.
We have more conscripts at our disposal.
A lot of repairs required for the Allies. Biggest annoyance, there's a huge amount of manpower in reserve. Oh, might need to spend some of it now with that conscript white. It's the thing with these KV-1s, you know, they're hard to kill for the Axis, but they're not the most impactful tanks. Just annoying. Blitzing. Some damage to the AVRE as it backs away. There's a 4 coming in now as well. Oh, doesn't even land the stun there.
We've got 50 points left.
Allies making a dash for the center. They do manage the decap at least. S35 working well here. KV-1 spinning in circles. Panzer IV blitzing, looking to get around the corner. No Faust though. Good response from biggest annoyance. Good damage from the planes as well. And Kpen loses. Grenadiers. Jamal making a break for the far edge. Already so low on victory points. Biggest annoyance needs to start producing more units now.
We must hold the enemy. We are down to our last 25 points.
Okay, recon. That's just what I was thinking about. One thing the Allies have been missing is vision. Jamal has been struggling on munitions for a while now, but finally has enough. Wow, it just got shut down that fast. By got 2 tanks with pintles. He's had really bad luck on those recon planes. Oh boy, that's not good. KV-1 looks likely to die here. Big Tiger coming in. And there we go, snipes it off. Engineers capping in the center. Got a fresh Firefly coming up for Jamal. 35 out the back there with the engine crit. Big Werfer strikes. Allies do manage the capture. 12 VPs remaining. Looks like Jamal lost on the far edge. Maybe got forced to retreat. Firefly coming in. No upgrades on the Firefly yet though.
An engineer unit is ready for action.
Couple shots in here from the Firefly. AVRE making a move. Looking for the stun. Oh, I think he needed to commit there. Oh, I don't think he's going to be able to get away. Maybe he is. Maybe the Axis is going to lose vision.
Flame mortars can be called to attack enemy structures.
Okay.
Field recovery teams are ready to salvage vehicles.
Guards trying to go for the cap, but shut down by the Panzer IV. Back on the drain now, the Allies.
We only have 10 points left. Guard rifle infantry squads are now available.
Maybe just making a big move. Looking to distract all the Werfers. Nasty stuff there. And that'll do. That'll be the GG. So your biggest annoyance, Bill was a bit all over the show. had a lot of manpower flooding in the early stages of this match, going for like a straight into KV1, which can kind of work, but need an AT gun to keep the 222 at bay. Earlier, had the manpower for a very long time, didn't build it. Maybe could have helped out with some Zis barrages as well. Almost worked out here for the Allies. They had a pretty good setup, until the Axis started to ramp up that indirect fire. They had a lot of team weapons, resulting in a lot of map control. The mortar pit bolstered up with the Ford assembly. It was working pretty well for the Allies, but just slowly they got chipped away at by the artillery fire. Good preservation of the Panzer IV from d0ggY, keeping things alive. The MG in this building was huge. d0ggY just couldn't cap this VP for a very long time. Seemed like biggest annoyance. Kind of forgot about this VP for most of the game. Didn't really see it harassed at all. Don't think he got enough done with the double KVs. I think they didn't really reach their potential this match. I think a lot of the time, if you don't have an SU-85 to back them up, they're kind of a bit of a sitting duck against the Tiger. You just don't really have enough penetration to reliably get through, and you just end up taking a bunch of damage. And now that KVs don't have that received damage bonus, they take a long time to repair back up. So you want to avoid those kind of bad trades. But yeah, some nice attempts from itsjomal with the AVRE stun into double fire focus fire. But yeah, I don't think you want the command vehicle on the AVRE. Especially, I think he did it once. He'd already lost most of his mainline squads. If you've still got like a bunch, like 3 or 4 double Bren high vet infantry sections, maybe makes a bit more sense if you want that buff on all your infantry. But yeah, in fact, maybe I'll quickly look this up for you guys so we can all learn. Ability guide. We want the British auras. Designate command vehicle. So gives the AVRE negative 50% accuracy, which is whatever, doesn't matter. Yeah, 100% nerf to the reload speed. So reload gets doubled. So yeah, that's rough. But it doesn't change move speed. I thought it used to apply a move speed penalty. Maybe that got removed at some stage. Well, that's all right then. All right. I always forget what the penalties are on that. Always. Well, anyway. GG's, a pretty fun match overall. Hope you all enjoyed it. Well, anyway, guys, a wrap on that. If you like you're going to be cast by me, details in the video description below. Otherwise, I'll catch you all for the next thrilling installment. Goodbye and good luck.